Good morning, gang. It's Friday, June 26th. Tonight will be the 2-week anniversary of Suzy's stroke. And tomorrow afternoon/evening will be the 2-week anniversary of her hospitalization. And I just, reflecting back, in my opinion, she's come a long way. I think by external standards, it's incremental. But essentially, over that 2-week journey, she's had a lot of therapy. They've basically stabilized her in terms of blood pressure and some other things. I think I mentioned yesterday that she hadn't taken her meds for the most part on Wednesday, which caused a lot of concern for me because I want her feeling as well as possible so she can fully participate in all the therapy that's available to her right now, because I think that's going to be dramatically be reduced here in the future. I've also mentioned her discharge date is July 10th. So essentially that's about 2 weeks off, which scares the living daylights out of me. Yeah. So, I don't know if I mentioned the time. It's a little before 6 o'clock, about 6 or 5:55. I got up about an hour ago. Pardon my finger off on the side here. I just need to change hands sometimes. So what I thought I'd do is do something a little different here. I'm trying to change it up, make it more appealing, interesting, whatever, in small ways. So I'm in my office right now, and my office is the messiest room in the house, so you aren't going to get to see the whole ugly truth, as they say. And I'm sitting in front of the computer, and I thought I'd show you a few things. Get into talking about Suzy. And I think the first thing that I just wanted to share with you is a fabulous tool that they have, and probably a lot of you have already experienced this kind of thing, but I really haven't, because we haven't had the occasion to have somebody hospitalized and need this level of communication between the caregivers and the patient and or her caregivers. Or I use caregivers twice. I guess I'm not a caregiver yet. Technically, I'm just the guy on the sidelines cheering her on. Pretty soon I'll be on the playing field. So anyway, I'm logged into this tool. It also comes in app form, so you can access it on your cell phone. And I know I've got a lot of glare on my glasses, and I apologize. I tried to work through it, but I haven't been successful, and I don't want to do a lot of gymnastics to do these videos, so we're going to roll with it, and I might move to a different room with different lighting in just a little bit. So I'm going to show you this tool and talk a little bit about it and show you how I interact with it. Still learning it. I was just looking at the messaging portion, which I have not used, and I'm thinking I really should, because there's some critical messages. Well, I don't know if they're critical, but they're important to me, that I want to make sure are drilled down to the team so they can be reminded. Trying to not be a pest, but also be Suzy's advocate. So anyway, I'm going to flip this around. Hopefully this video works with a computer screen. Bear with me. Okay, what we're looking at is kind of the home page. And you can see up here, I'm hoping that you can see this. Not exactly sure how that works. But at the top, it says schedule an appointment, messages, visits, test results, medications, and billing. I've avoided the billing part for obvious reasons. But what I do is every morning I go here where it says OTCT or COTX, and I've learned that COTX is with technician. Okay, so that I'm going to view all of her therapy for today. Okay, so today is the 26th, so we've got, and again, I hope you're seeing this correctly. OT is starting at 9:30 today, and it's going to be Alexandra too, and she goes by Alex, and she's fantastic. I've worked with her, and she gave me some homework the other day that I completed, and I'll tell you a little bit about that in a while. And then SLP is speech language. I think it's pathology. I'm not sure. Rebecca Chang, I have not worked with or seen Rebecca yet, so she's new to me. And then PT, and again, that's at 11 for the speech. And at 1 o'clock is physical therapy, PT, with Nicole. And I've met Nicole before, but haven't worked beside her. And then this is a new one down here. It's called FES Bike Group. Starts at 2:30 for 45 minutes. I'm suspecting that that might be recreational therapy. So that's going to be interesting. I'm hoping Suzy has a willingness to participate in these things. You know, it's hard being a patient that was active, able to be verbalized, and have all that loss, all that go away in a rapid fashion. So that's what's in store for today. Usually I write that down on a little notepad to have it with me at all times. Sometimes I take a picture of it. So I've got it in my photos so I can refer to it throughout the day. And they also have something similar to this posted in Suzy's room so I can refer to it. But I try to be there for all of her therapies. These are therapies. And I would say I'm hitting 50% or less because I'm dealing with a lot of other issues as it relates to trying to get more health insurance and that kind of thing. Don't want to belabor that, but it's taking a lot of my time, and meaning that I can't be with her and seeing what these therapies are about. I'm going to refer to my notes. Okay, this real quick. I'm going to see this go to labs somewhere here. Test results. Okay, so I'm going to flip it around, and I'm hoping that, again, I'm getting this, the camera on the iPhone is at one end of the iPhone, so you can see here, and again, I don't know if I'm close enough or too close, but it's individual test results on current hospital stay, and it's showing you different things. And for those of you, some of you have a medical background, you're going to know all this stuff. Urinalysis is pretty obvious. Panel 7 is blood work. I don't know what hemogram differential is, but I'm assuming it's related to blood. But you can see there's some of these where it's saying it's abnormal. I don't think that this is anything that's earth-shattering. This is Suzy's Dr. Henry. I asked him how to pronounce his name, and he told me, I don't remember. They came in yesterday morning, him and his team, which is a total of 3 doctors. And Suzy was just going into the bathroom to take her shower. She gets a shower twice a week. So I wasn't able to meet with them, which I really want to do because I really haven't had any in-depth conversation with them. I spoke with them at the beginning of the week, and they told me kind of what the lay of the land was. So anyway, I'm hopeful I can do it. This is the urinalysis. Specific gravity was in normal range. If you can see that, you can see pH was off in terms of on the high end of a normal range. Nitrates were abnormal. I'm not sure really what that translates into. Leukocytes, I'm thinking of a leukocyte as something that you find in the blood. Not sure about that, but down here and to the right, at the bottom is bacteria, is the value is many, and it's 104, which is high. Normal range is 0 to 4. So you can see she's at the high range, and this was done June 24th, 11 o'clock in the morning, 11:40. So, that's 2 days ago. Yesterday, Suzy was feeling a lot better. I think she was in her chair. I'm trying to think. No, she wasn't in her chair when I arrived, but they eventually, they put her in her chair after she had her shower. And I've already talked about this contraption that is kind of a sling that, picks her up. It's suspended from the ceiling. It's all very smooth, runs on a track. They can get her into the track, runs into the bathroom, and they can either take her to the shower in this thing. I don't think she showers in it. I think they sit her on there's a bench, shower bench, and they sit her on the bench and take the sling away and do the showering on the bench. And I'm not sure about how that works when she's going to the bathroom. I'm thinking you probably don't want to have an accident on the sling, so maybe they put her on the toilet and remove the sling. So, Suzy's not, to my knowledge, and again, I haven't had the time to really follow up with the right people to know whether she's urinating on her own. I suspect she isn't, which caused me really great concern for when she comes home. They've said they can catheterize her and bring her home, but that's not optimal. So, anyway, that's the My Health online thing. Randomly, some things have come up that have resonated with me, and I thought that I would talk about it. It's the power of words and thought. And a good friend of mine who is a Mexican artist that lives in Ajijic on the shores of Lake Chapala, his name is Efren Gonzalez, and he's just an amazing person. He created a little he calls it Ajijic Art Museum or something like that. And it's a gallery, and he brings in different artists for showings, and obviously they're trying to sell paintings and support the art community, and they have a variety of community events. He's just a phenomenal person and a phenomenal artist. But anyway, their museum cat is missing, and is hoping, posted photos on Facebook, hoping people will help in finding or locating the cat. And one of the replies, written in Spanish, used the word ojalá, Ojala. And ojalá to me was always a phenomenal word. I'd never heard of it before I moved to Mexico. And I always thought, when I was there, the vibe I got was something like God willing. And so I thought, I really want to find out what ojalá truly means. So I'm going to show you. This is very brief. Don't want to belabor it, but this is ojalá. Okay? So ojalá is a Spanish expression used to convey the wishes or desires, often translated as I hope, I wish, or hopefully. Okay. And I tend to be very detailed on this stuff. A lot of people don't care, but it's important to me. So and then I thought, well, where did this come from? It just has kind of an Arabic vibe. And you may or may not know that the Moors, the Moorish people from Morocco, occupied Spain for about 800 years. And I don't remember the dates. It may have been around 1200 AD, somewhere in there. Maybe not. Would have been earlier than that. Anyway, so I looked up the origin of Ojalá, and this is what it said. So the origin of Ojalá means I hope or hopefully in Spanish, and originates from the Arabic phrase La Salah. And again, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But it says, if God wills it. And I thought, wow, I was kind of right in my assumption. So the other thing I wanted to share with you that's on my screen here was, I'm trying to do a lot of cleaning up, getting rid of stuff. And one of the things that I'm trying to clean up, and maybe it's not appropriate to be doing it right now, is my emails. And I've been a collector of all things marketing for years and subscribed to a bunch of different marketing people for ideas, education, inspiration, whatever. And so as of about 2 weeks ago, I had over 39,000 emails in my inbox. 99.9% of them I'd never read. And so I busied myself trying to get rid of a lot of them. And I'm not looking at each individual emails, but I've gotten rid of about 11,000, and unsubscribing from whole categories and, knocking out a whole messenger group at one time. But there was one that I was thinking, it's about kind of a philosophy about living. And I came across this one email. And, I was going to delete the whole group, but to delete the whole group, you wind up on one email and then you grab the rest of the group. And I thought, wow, this idea, there's no accident here why I'm seeing this. And so I thought I'd share it, and it's meaningful to me right now. So I'm going to show you. Okay, I hope, again, that you can see this. So at the top it says, when the going gets difficult, remember, don't stop moving. Take the next step. Don't think about all the miles that lay ahead. Just think about taking the next step. What is the next step for you? Commit to taking it right now, then get started. Take the next step. Be encouraged. So actually I chopped that way down because I didn't want to make it super long, but that has great meaning for me and is relevant to my current situation and a good reminder. And the last thing I'll share on my screen here isn't related to any of that. It was something I'd had on my screen trying to when I was trying to, I thought I'd lost my phone. I was trying to use iCloud to locate the phone. I'd never done this before, so I didn't know how it worked. And so I was taking screenshots and putting it in a Word document so I could compare the two. So the first photo is I'm at my computer and I've got Suzy's phone, but don't know where mine is. I've called it. I've walked around the house calling it. I can't hear it ringing. Don't know if I had it on silent. I've set our phones up, Suzy's and mine, at least I think I have, to ring even if it's on silent mode, okay? Because, don't want to be on silent and miss a phone call from your wife or vice versa. So anyway, the first image is going to be Suzy's phone with me in the office, and it's showing a representation of my phone as well, and then also Suzy's iMac. So those are the things that are showing up. And then the next thing that I did is to try to give a reference point that was different, as I took Suzy's phone, the furthest spot inside our little house here, and took a screenshot of that. And so I took her phone and put it by the kitchen sink. And so here we go. I'm just going to show you what it showed me. Okay. Again, I don't know if you can see this. So it showing Suzy's phone when I have it in the office. And I don't know if you can see the little gray outline of our duplex. It's very subtle. Hopefully you can pick that up, or it's picked up by the phone. And then I moved her phone to the sink, and this is where it's Suzy's phone by the sink. Well, it turns out the kitchen is adjacent to our little garage, and the phone, my phone, I'd left on the passenger seat. So this screen should have shown those phones closer together, not further apart. Here in her, when it's in her office, it showed it closer together. So I'm grateful that it did tell me it was here. It was just a matter of time before I found it. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm jumping around a little bit today. I told you, I think the last video, that in the kind of summary at the beginning of what I'm going to cover, that I got a surprise in the mail and I forgot to tell you what that was. And I'm going to show you here, maybe not. What am I showing you? Okay. This is what I'm going to show you. It's got official jury summons the other day for jury duty. As if I didn't have enough going on already. So I hopefully can go online and tell them your hardship story. So hopefully I did that right. I did not get a confirmation that they received it, or on-screen confirmation, or email confirmation. So, you know, it's always concerning to me when I'm not getting, okay, we got your response kind of situation. So one more thing. I'm on Suzy's phone right now, and one of the reasons I'm looking off to the left, trying to pull up my phone, I call this, well, I'm using her phone a lot, and I'll tell you why that is. I've been trying to upload a video directly from my phone, which saves a lot of steps. And I think I started last night somewhere around 7 o'clock. It's still going. It's showing that it's 94% done, and there's 2 or 3. It's toggling between 2 and 3 minutes. Well, an hour ago it was saying 6 to 7 minutes. So I'm not sure how that works, but I'm just going to show you my little setup here. And again, this is an older video. This is over a week old, so I don't know, although I'm going to put it up on the channel, I don't know that I'm going to make it public at this time. I just have a lot of videos. I don't know if you can see that or not. It shows 3 minutes remaining, 95%, 2 minutes remaining. So how I'm using 2 phones is I use my phone a lot for interacting with the hospital staff. If somebody comes in, they're going to tell me their name, and often I'll just ask them if it's okay if I take a photo of their name badge, just so I have a record. It's not keeping track of people from a legalistic point of view. It's just uh, the day kind of turns into a mental jumble for me. I'm going to move to the next room. Turns into a mental jumble for me. And so sometimes things kind of go in one ear and out the other. So it just helps me keep track of stuff. And so I use it a lot. Obviously, I've recorded some of her therapy. And so what I'm doing now is I'm using Suzy's phone to do any recording that I'm doing, possibly screenshots and photos, so I can preserve the battery life of my phone. And yes, I take a charging cable, but once it's in the on the charging cable, it's kind of tethered. You're not really walking around able to use it a whole lot. So let's see. Okay. Talking a lot about me. Well, a little bit about Suzy, I guess. I'm learning how they work with the patients, and I mentioned this before, is rather than if the goal is to get her in the chair, that's kind of my thinking. No, the goal is really for her to do as much work as possible to get in the chair. And the chair is really secondary. And I need to remind myself of that a lot, because I think of, okay, this is the task, get her in the chair. But the task really is getting to her to work to get in the chair. And obviously she needs a lot of assistance to do that, but you want her participating. So that's something I'm needing to remind myself and not go into automatic mode. Yesterday, I've got stuff I want to take to the Goodwill. So yesterday I swung by Goodwill because it was right by this little security office that I was at. And just to find out what their hours were to receive stuff. Let's see. Okay, talked about 2 phones, jury duty. This morning I need to water the garden. It's been a couple days. The weather's getting more mild, but it's been several days, so I usually walk around and stick my finger in the dirt. That's my way of determining moisture level. And so I did that yesterday. And I was thinking today, even though we're heading into milder weather, I need to get that done. I didn't take a walk yesterday morning because I was feeling a little pressed for time, gave myself the grace not to do that. And then last evening, because I told myself, well, I'll do it in the evening. Last evening, I was about to go out for a walk, and my neighbor Pietro texted me and said, "What's up with Suzy?" And I told him I don't know where we left off. What it was the last thing I told you. And I said, I'm going for about a 30-minute walk. Do you want to join me? And we can talk then. And he said, sure. And so it was a great, good human connection, and able to bring him up to speed on Suzy. Another thing I'm learning, and I've mentioned this before, is letting go of perfection. I talked about before that I'd cleaned out my closet fairly substantially. This was something that Suzy's asked me to do for years. Things that I haven't worn in 7, 8, 9, 10 years. Suits and ties and all that stuff. Still kept a few, but anyway. So originally my intent, I thought there was a nonprofit that gave people that needed clothes for interviewing that were social or financially disadvantaged. I'm struggling on all these words. Don't have the dough. So as a resource to help them look good for an interview. So I thought I'd found a place. It was something about Dress for Success. Then I went to the website, and it's just for women. So hey, I think that's great for women, but I don't necessarily have a spot for these clothes. And then I thought to myself, stop being too perfect. You got to get rid of it. Do what's easiest. So I'm taking it to Goodwill. Don't know what yet, but my goal is tonight to bag it all up, put it in the car, and when I have a moment, Goodwill's probably a mile away, so it'll be easy to swing by now that I know that their delivery window is essentially 10 in the morning till about 6:30 at night. And then finally, talk a little bit about our girl, Suzy. So it looked like she was feeling better by the fact that she was, getting showered. That's something that I don't think she would have done the day before. She wasn't a happy camper because of the bladder infection. And so I think she's better. Yesterday morning, she's supposed to take the antibiotic for the bladder infection twice a day. It's every 12 hours. And I'm always asking, did she, what percentage, that's how they gauge it, percentage of what she ate. And then I try to ask it's usually nurse's aide that assists in the feeding. And, Susie's, for the most part, eating on her own, but you really need somebody there while she is eating in case something goes down the wrong pipe and she starts to choke. You need to be able to respond to that. So anyway, I try to ask the nurse's assistant about what she's eating and not eating, so we can give her the stuff that she's eating and not the stuff that she isn't. I don't like wasting stuff. What else? So she'd taken all of her meds except for the antibiotic. And I was talking with the nurse. This was a nurse I hadn't met before. Andrew? I don't know if it's Andrew. But anyway, he said no, she wasn't willing to take it. And I'm thinking, we need to be a little more assertive. And I'm not saying force it, but don't ask, would you like? Say, hey, this is what we're going to do now so you can feel better. And so he said he'd do a follow-up in terms of putting it on the applesauce and, putting it in her mouth. So I came back in later in the afternoon and found out that she had, in fact, had her antibiotics. So I just want her to keep feeling as good as she can so she participates in the therapies. Her appetite seems good. She seems to like eggs and, fruit. She likes sweet stuff. Did a little video on the food. I think that's about it. The only therapy that I really was there for was her speech therapist. And it was Robert, somebody I haven't met before, but he was absolutely fantastic. And, I think the worst person to teach a spouse is their spouse. So I think, I want to be there and try to participate, when she comes home. But I'm also cognizant that I'm with her all day long and maybe she doesn't want that much of Jolie. So, yeah, it's tough. Anyway, I think that does it. Need to go for my walk. Need to do the garden. So appreciate you listening. Love you guys. Appreciate all the comments on YouTube and people that have given me DMs on Facebook and texts. Those are always welcome. Like and comment helps the algorithm. And if there are people that we know in common, there are probably a lot that I haven't reached out to just because I'm prioritizing different things. I did reach out to Suzy's family yesterday. She has some cousins. Her maiden name is Steinberg, so I reached out to the Steinberg cousins just via Facebook Messenger, and I got one of the cousins and asked that she share it with the others. And I reached out to a lifelong friend of Suzy's, probably her oldest friend, Marcia. Haven't heard back from Marcia. And again, we're dealing with people in their 80s. How long or how active are they involved in Facebook or even look at it? So, and then a few other people. But anyway, appreciate you guys so much. It means a lot. That's it for Friday. Take care.